This is the MMA Takes Podcast with your host, Brian Petrie.
Whoa. We got a full house today. We got Devin Tejada. We got Tim Mitchell. We got 3 UFC events we got to cover. Oh, boy. Boys, where do you want to start? I have no notes. We talked about it. I have no notes. We can go. You want to start from Saturday to Saturday? Go 249 to Saturday? You want to start with your biggest losers, your biggest winners? What are we doing here?
I got a whole list of fucking biggest losers. I tell you that.
That's screwed. So if anybody doesn't know, Tim and I did a podcast. I have the sheet right here of my little markings. This is how I keep track of everything. And your boy Brian Petrie won by 9-7. Tim got screwed on a few of these decisions. Could have went either way. Let's start there because Anik and Florian covered it. I had no problem with the Song Yudong decision or the Claudia Gadelha decision. The only decision I had a problem with is the Dan Ige. I thought Edson won.
I mean, and I'm biased, of course, but man, Marlon Vera, I felt like he definitely, like, I think it came down to the second round. I believe that was the closest one. And David, that verdict that you sent over, was that for Yudong, Song, and Vera, or was that for another fight?
That was. I'll read it to you right now. That's from Verdict. They do like a global scorecard thing.
Yeah.
Fucking, let me grab it real quick for you.
I think that might have been Angela Hill fight, actually.
Probably. I think I did send you for the Angela Hill. But let me read the global scorecard. I know they posted it. They had to have. So Song won the first, and then Vera won 3 and 4 on the global scorecard. What I don't like about Verdict is they don't round, so the judges only score 1 through 10.
Yeah.
8 being the lowest you can do. Verdict takes a number, and then gathers all the information and then makes the number. So it's like 9.68 for the first round for Song, versus 9.36 for Cheeto. And I think that they should just round up and make them, 10-8, 10-9, the way that we would score them. But still, Vera inched him out with he got a 29 even, and then Song Yudong was 28.08. So that's what the global scorecard was. I agree with both of you guys. I think Song was the harder puncher, but I think Vera had more output and he had a little more cage control, and I think he, had more the grappling advances. I'm on the fence with who won that fight.
It was tough regardless. I mean, I don't think it was a robbery by any means.
I mean, the way that the fights, you guys were talking about it when you guys picked them, everything was so fucking close, and the fights were just as close as the betting lines were.
Yeah, it could have went either way in this card. Like, this was a really tough card. That's why usually I spread my bets around. Usually I paint the board a little bit, try to hit, it's like Battleship. Try to hit as many as you can. But I was so confident by Aza. I'm telling you guys, when he got rocked by Matt Brown, I almost shit my pants. But no, I thought Song won. I thought I think Vera's been a little bit of a crybaby bitch lately. I don't know. I think he's a very talented guy. I underrate him. I've said it on the podcast. He's just not one of my guys I really root for. I would love to see O'Malley get a hold of him. I would love to see a lot of people get a hold of him because I don't think he's all that. He thinks he's better than what he is. The fight with Song was kind of weird. Yeah, I had it for Song, but I wouldn't have thrown a fit if it went the other way. I really thought Edson won. I really thought Edson beat Ige.
Yeah.
I thought he fucked him up the first 2 rounds, and Ige had a really good third round. But every round was close. It wasn't like either guy pulled away. But obviously Edson almost finished him in the first round. He dropped him, almost finished him on the ground. So obviously that was a big first round. And then Claudia, I don't know. I like Angela Hill. I picked Claudia to win. I didn't bet that fight. I just thought Claudia was controlled it more, and I thought it was very, very close. Again, one of the decisions I wouldn't cry about if someone lost or won or whatever. Angela Hill's retweeting everybody saying that she won.
Yeah.
I understand that she's trying to up her game, trying to get that out there. That's fine. She's not going to appeal the loss. Edson's managers are appealing the loss, which I think is kind of a move. Dana White said he thought Claudia won, and he thought Edson won. Dana White and I kind of saw it the same. But props to Dan Ige. No one really had him. He was a small underdog, which was a shocker. I picked him just to go opposite Tim, but I really didn't think he was going to win. I didn't bet him.
That was his best performance.
Yeah.
That was his best performance by far. By far, he looked so good. He says that nobody can beat him in the third round, and he usually is a slow starter, and that's why I was like, oh, Edson's gonna TKO him, because Edson, he comes out hot, he throws hard leg kicks, he didn't kick much, and I think that's where he fucked up.
He didn't kick a lot. He kicked a lot maybe towards the end.
Yeah.
His leg was right a little bit, but I felt like if he would have had more of that, there was a couple bodies, that knee to the body fucking almost crippled him. I don't know how he came back from that. That's tough shit, dude. Like, getting hit to the body good is so hard to come back from. I mean, some of the toughest guys in the sport can't do it, and he came back from a big body shot. Ige impressed me. Ige did impress me. I don't know how well he's going to do with the elite at 145. Like, if you put him in there with, I mean, God, I can't think of someone off the top of my head. Name of 45.
Him and Ortega would be a great fight. Him and Brian Ortega. Because
called out Korean Zombie. I think Korean Zombie fucks him up.
That's what he said. Yeah, he said he wanted to fight the Korean Zombies.
Yeah, he called out like 3 people, but then in the presser, the post-fight presser, he called out Zombie like, no, I think that's the guy I want. I think the Zombie fucks him up, though.
I think Korean Zombie will fuck him up, but I think a dude like Brian Ortega that is not the most polished striker, but is tough as fuck, will try to bang with Ige, and I think that'd be a great. I mean, they're pretty far apart in the rankings, but
right.
I think that they're both just tough as fuck, and I think that those dudes I think that'd make a great fight between those guys. For Edson, I don't know how Edson's gonna do at 145 if he's having wars with number 15. I don't know what his aspirations are to drop down and cut that extra weight. It has to be for the title. Why would you want to kill yourself?
I feel like they're like the difference between the 15th guy and like the 8th guy. Like, I don't see Yair Rodriguez like crippling either of these dudes. No. You know what I'm saying? And he's probably top 10 after because he just beat Jamie Stevens, so he's definitely top 10. And I don't see him running through Barboza or Ige. I don't see maybe Zombie. Zombie's a different.
Calvin Kattar will probably fuck Edson up, dude.
Kattar, sure, yeah. Kattar's
gonna fuck a lot of people up.
Josh Emmett, I think Josh Emmett will turn off fucking Edson's lights. I
think Josh Emmett's a little overrated for me. I don't know why. I'm not like a fan of him. So Yair Rodriguez, Tim, is 5, so he's really high.
Oh yeah.
And I agree with you. I don't think Yair runs through Edson. I think he has a problem with Edson. Edson, my biggest thing was the weight cut. He has no body fat, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Apparently his last fight at 155, he was coming in the fight week at like 158. Like, he was cutting no weight. I don't know where the weight goes. I have no idea. But I thought he looked pretty good. He took punches well. He got slept by Stevens.
I think he was a real punch shot. Because he got the third round, he didn't throw one wheel kick.
No, he didn't. Yeah, he kept his kicks kind of under control. He seemed like he was fighting after the first round where Ige, well, that's not true because he hit him with the body, tried to finish too.
Ige hits hard.
I think Edson thought he won it. Obviously, he threw a fit. They're gonna appeal it, all that shit. Ige cracks, right? But Ige didn't really wobble him or hurt him with anything. It was a really good fight. I mean, every fight in this card besides Jocko was awesome. Every fight, top to bottom, was a fucking sick fight. I was really happy with this fight.
I think, dude, I'm trying to remember that, but I thought Eric Anders won.
Right. A lot of people. Yeah, that was a really close fight. I obviously had Jocko winning. It was weird. Like, Anderson, I thought if Anders, obviously was trying to clinch him, push him against the cage, do a lot of that work, which is fine. But I felt like his hands were working too. So open up your hands. Jocko was countering really well.
Oh, that's right. You would hold him up against the cage and not do shit.
And then Jocko is good takedown defense. So give up the takedown, work your hands, get him against the cage, then break off, do the same thing over and over again. If that's your game plan. He kept trying singles and doubles. I remember Bisping was calling him out on it. Like, he had a double and then he would go to a single, which is how he might finish his takedown, but it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
Jocko, I was worried about gassing. He's gassed before. He looked pretty good. He didn't look great again, but I mean, feed him to like Jack Hermanson. I think a Chris Weidman who needs to win. That'd be good for him. That's his 3rd in a row at 185. I mean, Anders, again, this guy's gonna be active. He'll fight fucking next week probably.
Yeah.
He's a dog. I mean, he's a little slow for the division. I think he needs to. He's obviously working on his kicks. He kept trying to throw a kick, a 1-2 and a kick. When Jocko slid away a little bit. But he needs to work on his skills. But he's always going to be a gamer. He's always going to be in there. I mean, he was coming off 2 finishes. So, fuck. But that was the only fight that was a little boring. A lot of controversy. I saw a lot of people thought Anders won. I saw a lot of people thought Jocko won. Yeah, I mean, but let's get to the main event because listen, Alistair Overeem decides to have a fucking chin for the first time
Yeah.
and fucking stop
That
Walt
would have been
Harris, which
shocking. I would have been upset.
you got to feel so bad. But I mean, dude, Alistair has been slept by a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
He fucking took everything. And I thought when he was on his back and Walt was hitting him with the left on the ground, I'm like, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Walt was my final leg in the parlay. I'm standing up going, it's over.
Likewise,
and
dude.
Alistair decides to not have to show up with a goddamn chin.
He was like, you could tell though, he started to shell up, and I didn't see him go limp. He just shelled up, and he was just waiting for that moment to burst and push off and stand up. And the second he stood up, I told myself he blew his load. I go, Walt's gonna get finished.
Well,
I told myself he blew it.
Walt, I don't know his weight. I don't follow Walt that much.
He looked chubby.
When he walked in the cage, he was really big. He looked really chubby. And then they said he had to cut weight. I'm like, oh shit. And then I know he's going through stuff with his daughter and stuff. He said that he's been drinking a lot, but yeah, he didn't look in the best shape. Overeem looked good. Overeem's arms look big.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not Ubereem anymore. He got off the sauce, but he didn't gas. You know, his grappling, he's very heavy pressure when he gets on top of you. But the best thing he did, he's on the ground covering up. I'm like, it's over, it's over. And then Overeem jumped up, grabbed a single leg. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Overeem.
He hook at first.
Yeah.
He went for a heel. And
Yeah.
then I think Walt kind of freaked out and was like, oh shit. And then that's when Overeem grabbed the single leg. But yeah, dude, I got fucked up with money on that, man. That was the last leg of my parlay too. Like in my DraftKings, I had Walt and like my MVP, and I'm just like, yes, the first round knockout. That's so much fucking points. Like, oh, dude, I was upset, man.
He's gonna have problems though. If that's what he's bringing to the table, anyone above Overeem is gonna give him a lot of problems. He can hit hard, but he doesn't have that Francis. He has really fast hands. He might have he probably has might have the fastest hands in that division, or at least top 3. He's got real fast hands, but he doesn't have that like, you know, nuclear power like Francis to where he can go and blow his load in the first round because that's all he needs to do. He's gonna have problems. Like he's gonna have problems against a lot of guys like Curtis Blades and those dudes.
Had problems.
You know, he has.
He lost 3 out of 4.
Werdum took him down and submitted him like the first round like he was a white belt. Like it wasn't even close. And I was like, I remember Walt was a huge underdog in that. I took a shot on him because I'm like, oh, he'll clip Werdum. And Werdum literally took him down like he would take me down and submitted me. I'm like, Walt Harris, you gotta have some kind of ground game, bro. But he doesn't. He's just a big, powerful guy who has really fast hands. Will explode on you quick. But if you don't get out of there, I just spit all over my computer screen. That's how excited I am. But if you don't get him, if he doesn't get you out of there, it's fucking over. You know what I mean? It's over for him. I mean, because he's got gas. But he did look really chubby. I don't want to talk too much shit about him because he's going through a lot. Hopefully he bounces back quick. There's a million guys he can fight at heavyweight. The first name that popped in my head, which you're not going to worry about takedowns, is Greg Hardy. I think Greg Hardy coming off a big win. Him and Walt Harris could be big. If you want to promote Greg Hardy,
he'd be the real bad guy. He would have to be the bad guy.
Ultimate
gotta be the bad guy.
This is a guy who's beat women, beating up a guy who just lost his daughter. Dude. That's ultimate bad guy. And if you want to promote Greg, I mean, Greg's not going to go for a fucking takedown. No. They're going to stand and bang. They're going to fucking throw down.
Or Augusto
That's the first thing I thought of.
I thought of Augusto Sakai.
Yeah, Sakai could be good. Yeah, I just thought of a guy who, because they're pushing Greg, right? And what is Walt? Is Walt ranked even?
No.
Yeah, like 8. I think he's 8.
What? Right.
Yeah. He was ranked number 8.
He's 9 now. He got leap on him. So
Overeem division is trash.
Yeah, Overeem's 8 now. Walt's 9. So Overeem leaped them. So yeah, they're pushing Greg. Give him a top 10.
No, I think Overeem was already 8.
Was he already 8? So they have I'm on UFC's website now. That I guess they updated.
He goes to 5 now.
He goes to 5. Okay.
That's what they were talking about. But
yeah, because Olenek beat Werdum and he's 10. He should maybe go up. Greg Hardy is not in the top 15. I figured he might crack the top 15. There's a lot of guys at heavyweight that Greg Hardy could fight. A lot of people are wanting Overeem to fight Derek Lewis, which I think would be interesting. That'd be an interesting fight. Allows a good matchmaking by Twitter.
Yeah.
I still think Greg Hardy versus Bugloy would be good. Greg Hardy versus Walt was the first thing that came to my mind. But yeah, the heavyweight, they're trash. I mean, they're literally getting guys off the street.
Derek Lewis is the most overrated fighter in the history of the UFC. He's so bad.
There's a take. There's a take right there.
Yeah,
I like his
Derek Lewis at all.
I'm not a lot of my buddies who are very, very casuals They love Derek Lewis. Like, he's so funny. He's like one of the only guys I follow. It's like, cool. Go watch the Nagano fight and tell me how great he is.
And he won that fight.
He won. Yeah, because Nagano had like a brain damage.
He wants to fight Greg Hardy, Derek Lewis. He said, I want to beat up a woman. I want to beat up the woman beater. So I would watch that fight. Honestly, I think Derek Lewis will lose right up to the last minute and probably like finish him or some shit in typical fashion. I'd be into watching that.
Yeah, Derek Lewis is 5 though, and Overeem gets paid a lot of money. He made like $900K, so they're gonna push Overeem before they push that. But yeah, I mean, any of those fights would be interesting. I just want to see Greg Hardy get in there with like a real deal top dude. I mean, Jorgen was an up and comer, but he
that was bullshit.
He should have bet Jorgen, and his foot's not even
great patience. If I could suck his dick a little bit, he showed great patience in that fight.
Yeah,
he showed improvement for sure, but Jorgen didn't break his foot, which even hurts his stock even more. Everyone thought his foot was shattered, so he stopped fighting. His foot's not even fucking broken.
He was getting the better of exchanges, hitting Greg with power, and I think when he realized that Greg Hardy wasn't going to stop when he hit him with a couple power shots, and he got hit with some power shots, I think he was like, oh fuck, I don't want to exchange with this dude anymore. He's bigger than me. I didn't like getting hit like that. He took a shot and kind of shelled up. All right, so are we done with this card? Miguel Baez was Matt Brown. I gotta talk about that.
Fight of the night, dude.
Which one?
Darren Elkins, fucking Nate Lindwehr.
Oh jeez.
And my boy Nate the Train. You guys hate him. How do you hate him?
Yeah, he's fucking.
He's not good. Because he's not good.
He's the greatest, dude. He said something. I just saw a clip. It was on MMA Fighting. I forget what it was. He said something like he proved that he was one of the best 145ers in the world. I'm like, buddy, you're 1-1 in the UFC and you beat Darren Elkins, who's like 50. Like, you look good, right? It was bloody and whatever, but you didn't show like anything for me to be like, oh, this dude deserves so-and-so, right? I mean, and you got knocked out in your debut. So I think the guy is hilarious. I think this dude had dreadlocks, or braids or cornrows or whatever. Yeah. Losing his hair, and so he had to have that horrible haircut that he rocked on fight night.
Oh, and just do it.
He's crazy. I try to find him this clip.
That's right. I remember that last podcast you said he's like the fucking Tennessee Mike Perry, and now it makes a lot of sense.
Perry mixed with 3-6 Mafia because he's from Tennessee. So that 3-6 swang to him.
Lil White.
Yeah.
Remember Lil White?
Lil White. Yeah. Lil White's cousin. He's crazy, but like, listen, I mean, he went to Russian and beat some Russians, so like, there's not many Americans. Yeah. There's not many Americans that do that. Usually, they go to Bellator first or whatever. I mean, he looked good. It was a good fight. I thought fight of the night was Baeza Brown. I thought that fight was sick.
That was a good fight.
It didn't last long. It only went second round. That first round, dude.
Yeah, it was sick.
His fucking mouthpiece knocked out. Big old the immortal Matt Brown. Like, Matt Brown gets hurt.
How did Matt Brown not finish him, dude?
It's crazy.
That kid was fucking out.
Legs jelly. I thought Matt Brown. I mean, and then Matt started clinching and throwing those elbows that he does. Mm-hmm. I thought it was like, I literally couldn't. It was like a scary movie. I couldn't watch. I'm like, are you fucking kidding
get him up against the cage and he start like patting his right hand like he's about to throw an overhand. And he just never threw it. He'd like throw a short little elbow, but he wasn't throwing his patented, heavy elbow or even a overhand right. I was like, dude, you had that shit won. I was about
the only fight I went back and watched from this Saturday is I usually don't rewatch events until ways away because they're kind of glued in my mind. I re back and watch that. Matt Brown should have finished in the first round. It's crazy he didn't. Baez showed a lot of heart, but then the second round, that counter left hook that basically knocked Matt Brown out was so clean. And so slick.
So fast too, man.
So good. I mean, I screamed. I was jumping up and down. My daughter's jumping up and down with me. She doesn't even know what she's jumping up and down for. But man,
Kevin Holland.
It was crazy. I love that fight.
Can we talk about him? Because he didn't get a bonus. He deserves some shine. That was a great performance.
Baez didn't get a bonus?
No, Kevin Holland.
Oh, Kevin Holland. Yeah, Kevin Holland called out a bunch of people. Mickey Gall, if he goes down to 70, I like that fight. I think he fucks Mickey Gall up. Likewise. And then he called out Marvin Vettori, too, at 185.
Yeah.
Because he volunteered to fight Vettori on Wednesday and said, fuck it, I'm in Jacksonville. I'll go fight you. And then obviously it didn't happen. They kept the fight that it was. That would have been a way better fight than what happened Saturday. But yeah, Kevin Holland's got that personality where you love him, you hate him, right? Yeah. I thought his post fights was pretty good, right? Sometimes he annoys me. Sometimes he's really good. I thought he had a really good post fight.
Yeah, he toned it down. And like we were talking about, like I knew this kid was more talented than Hernandez. Like he's got a lot of potential if he just acts fucking right. If he just keeps his head in the game and doesn't showboat or do anything stupid or lose focus.
The fights in the UFC that he's lost, he could have won and should have won those. Maybe besides Santos. Santos might have been a little too much for him. Took down a fight on short notice. And Santos grappled him. Like Santos didn't even stand up when the won on decision. But that was a really entertaining fight because Holland was throwing up triangles and shit. But like the Brendan Allen fight, like he should have won that fight. Like he just kind of gave up grappling exchanges and then got choked out. But
was willing to take the L. He's like, I'm gonna get my payday. He just kind of like gave up. He kind of rolled over. It was weird because he's got all the talent in the world.
He does.
He's a talented kid.
And I think it's obviously focus thing. He's with a good camp with that Texas camp, that Safe Saud guy. But he should have got some shine. You're right. He won first round knockout body shot. And then so that's that card. We kind of covered everything on that card.
Last one, dude, I definitely think this was the best card just as far as like from
top to bottom, fight wise.
Well, from fight wise, maybe not talent wise, but just like every fight was like
fight
and Irwin.
Yeah, 249 had the better on paper card. Yeah. This card delivered more. The Wednesday card was kind of weird. I thought the main event was good. There were some other fights. We'll go to the Wednesday card now. So Glover versus Anthony Smith. Boys, surprising to me. I was all in on Anthony Smith here. He came out guns a-blazing in that first round, and right after that first round, I went, oh boy, he's gonna fucking gas because his pace is way too high. Glover, the fucking old ass wily vet, just taking his shots, sticking him, and then just fucking gasses. Anthony Smith does.
I knew Glover was gonna win that fight. I woke up that morning and I said I was taking a dump and I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw the fight card with all the fights and I look at Glover. I go, I don't think Anthony Smith has got enough power to finish him, and Glover is just such a wily, tough motherfucker that if I think Glover had the advantage in the grappling, even though Anthony Smith's a really good grappler, I think Glover had the advantage in the grappling department, and I don't know if there's a light heavyweight tougher than Glover. Like he's just a tough motherfucker, and if you don't put him out, he's hard to deal with. Like he's hard to deal with. He'll come back, and the old men are just fucking surging right now.
Glover knows how to get in shape too. Like this dude's like, this is 5 rounds. I'm not gonna get fucking tired, right? Yeah. Like Carl Robinson almost put Glover out. Glover came back, choked him out. Fucking what's his face?
You want Cutelaba?
Cutelaba almost put him out. Glover came back, put him away. You know, I just thought Anthony Smith was going to fight a little more measured here. He was coming out. He talks a lot. He talks a lot of big game. He says the right things, but he's not doing the right things. If you want to fight John Jones and you want to be considered with the Santoses and with the Reyes, you need to be able to go 5 rounds, dude. You couldn't go 3. Like if this was a 3-round fight instead of a 5-round fight, you still would have gassed. That's not a top 5 guy in my opinion, right? And the first round, he was great. He was electric. He's cracking Glover, didn't hurt Glover, but throwing that right hand, hit everything, landed everything.
His technique was flawless.
And then he slowed down, and he started slowing fucking down. And, you know, you could give the quarantine shit, you know, and he got a break in and all that. I don't, fuck that. No. You were training in Colorado, just like all those other guys in Colorado were training. You have no excuse not to be in shape. You're going 5 rounds. This fight was booked in April. You knew this was happening. So I'm not going to give him any leeway on that. I was disappointed. I'm not going to start. I was buying into what he was saying. I'm not buying anymore. Right. And Glover, I mean, was that 3-4 fight win streak now? I mean, what do we do with this fucking guy?
I think it's 4, ain't it?
It's 4-fight win streak.
The last time I remember him losing was against Gustafsson.
Yeah, when he got TKO'd, when he got hit with the uppercut.
Yeah. 6 uppercuts. That was bad.
But then he turned around and he fucking unleashed them on Anthony Smith, those uppercuts. Yeah. That's what fucking...
His last loss was Corey Anderson by decision back in July of 2018. Then he's got Carl Robinson finish, Ian Cutelaba finish, Nikita Krylov by decision, and then Anthony Smith. So he's got some legit wins in there from a Corey Anderson boring ass decision. He just got wrestle fucked by Corey Anderson, which I remember like for like 2 fights, he kept calling out Corey Anderson like, no, fuck that. I want that one back because that guy stinks and I can beat him. But I mean, at the guys at the top of 205, I mean, Glover Teixeira sit 8 right now. I'm imagining
he's the 5th. That's when I remember the 8-5. That's who they were saying that Teixeira should move up to being ranked 5th.
Right,
Smith was
because Smith is 4, right? So that has to happen. I would love to see Glover versus Volkan Ozdemir. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in a Glover Gustafsson rematch. Alexander Rakic, a guy who I'm real high on at 205. I don't know if it's too early or too soon. He's coming off a loss.
Well, Glover will fight him.
Yeah, Glover.
It's not worth it.
Glover wants a top 5 guy, and I think he deserves it.
Or how about a fucking Shogun Swan Song? Shogun has one more fight left. Give him and Glover.
I don't want to see him beat the fuck out of Shogun.
I do.
Yeah, Smith beat the shit out of Shogun, so I don't think he wants that fight either.
Glover will kill Shogun right now. I think the way that he fought, he'll kill him.
You know who's the guy I always forget because there's so many fucking Russians with all the kind of same names. But Magomed Ankalaev or whatever, into a fight. The guy who had the fucking weird win over Ian Kutalaba, that dude's fucking real deal. He doesn't fight a lot.
Super technical.
I'm hoping he gets put on Fight Island against someone in this top 10.
He's supposed to run that back with him and Kutalaba.
Yeah, right. Supposed to run that back. Yeah, right. Kutalaba trains in America, so he could fight in America. I just don't know if we can get this Magomed guy over here with everything going on in the world. But do you see California extended their stay-at-home order to August. All these big companies and celebrities like, fuck you, I'm moving to Texas. Gavin Newsom, that weirdo, just came out today and said, "Oh, sports can come back in June. June 1st, sports."
So yeah, Texas is starting back up too, man. Yeah. They're opening up everything at like 25% capacity for bars, 50% for restaurants. I think we're fights in Texas.
Friday. So this past Friday was outdoor seating only, and it rained all weekend, so we didn't see many people out. My buddy owns a bar in Cincinnati. He has a big patio, so he did really well. But with the rain, like today, he had to close. It's been raining all day, so he couldn't open today. But Friday, it's 33% capacity at his bar. So whatever your square footage is, the CDC sent you a thing saying this is how many people you can have indoor seating, eating, or whatever. But he has a huge patio, so hopefully it won't affect him too much.
Yeah, we're on the same thing as far as I think we're on the same thing as Ohio.
Yeah. So that's happening Friday. But yeah, I think it's funny. Like this dude fucking backtracked like real quick because all these other states are opening. Arizona's wide open. Like they're fine. Georgia, my wife went to visit the in-laws in Georgia. They're open. They're just fucking all out. I mean, it's with restrictions with mask and fucking the seating stuff and like a sit down joint like Outback Steakhouse or whatever. You have to call ahead. You can't just walk in anymore. So they have to book you. But they're all open. You know, they're open for business. We went to the mall the other day. There was four stores in the mall open.
Shit.
My wife wanted some shoes, so we're like, yeah. I was like, fuck it. It was right next to where I bought my camera.
The mall here they have open, and it's just the food court. Only the food court. Everything else got the gates.
Hey, there's someone who wrote letters that said, listen, I don't give a fuck about those stores. If I
on Cajun Grill.
You better give me my Sbarro pizza or fucking potato, whatever, express, or I'm not gonna be happy. Yeah, our mall in Cincinnati, the Kenwood Mall, which is north of Cincinnati, it's like an amazing mall. It's huge. They got all these fucking stores, a million stores. It's always packed. There was no one there on Sunday, and literally we were like, oh, let's go to Nordstrom to try to get these shoes. Nordstrom's closed. All right, let's try to get Macy's to get these stores. Macy's closed. Huh? So Dillard's was like the only fucking store open. It's crazy, but we're slowly getting there, boys. We're slowly getting there. And Dana's got a plan that, obviously May 30th is going to be in Vegas. And if it's not in Vegas, he's going to go to Arizona. So I don't think fights are – I mean, they just got to build these fucking cards. I mean, May 30th right now is 4 fights. UFC 250 is a complete dumpster fire.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a second?
We'll get on that right now. UFC 250, they have to –
I'm going to go take a piss. That's a joke. That's how bad UFC 250 is.
I'm about to make fun of your bladder because your bladder's like this. You always got to piss, dude. Just get a cup and just piss in the cup on the stream. Who cares?
Is that your piss cup?
No, this is my drink cup.
I'm ready to just walk away and
it's bad. But listen, I think what they're doing is I think they're bearing the lead a little bit. I think there's some fights. I think Cody Sunsal is going to be on there. I think Aljamain Sterling versus Sandhagen is going to be on there. And if they can get Petrie in the country, I think Petrie Moraes is going to be on there.
I'm so cool with that.
Yeah. I think it's like a weird
is a main event. That's a good main card.
I think it's going to be a weird mini 135-pound tournament, essentially. Petrie versus Moraes, Aljamain versus Sandhagen. Winner fights each other for the belt later on down the road. Although Cejudo just said his manager just came out and said no, he's not retired. So who the fuck knows what happened with that? I don't know. Did they offer him his money? Did they give him his money? I doubt it.
I want to see Henry keep fighting.
Care less, if we're being honest.
I love new blood. I'm always like the new guy, right? New things come out. Give me the new stuff, right? I'm a little fucking girl. So give me the new guys. I want to see Aljamain and Corey Sandhagen. That's going to be a great fight. Striker versus Grappler. Petrie versus Moraes is going to be a fucking banger. There's no way that fight's going to be boring. And the winners fight each other. That'd be awesome. Like, I think it's going to be, I don't know who it would be, actually. I think Petrie will beat Moraes. I don't know who would win versus Aljo and Sandhagen. I'm high on both.
The U.S.?
Huh?
Are they all in the U.S.?
Yeah.
They're all in the U.S. except Jan. Jan's in Thailand. But apparently there's something on Reddit, so take this with a grain of salt. Apparently he's in Thailand training because he trains at Tiger Muay Thai. Apparently he can get here. They're going to let him come to the States. Okay. Because Thailand, for whatever reason, they have like no outbreaks. Probably because it's so fucking hot. I don't know. Like, they're doing okay over there. But apparently they're going to let him get to the States somehow. But that's what I hear. But obviously visas and all that shit can get complicated. I don't, so that's not set in stone. But Moraes is in Florida. Sandhagen's
it's Mark Henry, Marlon Moraes, right?
He went to Top Team now.
Oh, did he? He left them?
He went because he went with Edson. Him and Edson are boys. So they both were in Jersey together. Now they're down in Top Team. Aljo fights.
Aljo's in Jersey, and he's with
Island. He does that. Yeah.
Sarah Longo.
Yeah.
And then Sandhagen's with Evolution, so in Colorado. So yeah, they're all ready to go. Besides Jan has to get in the country. But I follow him on fucking social media. Dude's fucking. He's been in Thailand for months. Dude's shredded right now.
Shred City doing push-ups. Doing push-ups on the medicine balls. I watched him today doing like deep dip fucking push-ups with the fucking training mask on. He ain't playing.
Even if he wasn't ready to go, he'd fight. That's how fucking that dude's fucking scary. That dude's the real deal. Okay, so back to Wednesday real quick. So Ben Rothwell, Oversay improved. That fight stunk. Give some shine to my boy Drew Dober. That's another cash cow for me. He won big.
Sure.
A lot of experts out there, they liked Hernandez, and I said
a lot of them. They changed my mind.
That was an easy pick for me. I didn't pick that card, but that was easy.
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, this is easy. Drew Dober's gonna steamroll him, and then I'm like, why are these people that I like that I respect are picking Hernandez? Am I missing something? And then Hernandez, I mean, he had good pace in that first round, but then once Drew Dober found his timing and was landing those shots, I mean, it was a wrap.
Yeah, he wanted none of it. He wanted out earlier than he got out.
Yeah.
He gets melted. The second he gets hit with something he doesn't like, he can't be the fucking nail. Like, the second he becomes a nail, he gets hit with something he doesn't like, and he's like, I'm done. He starts circling out, and he just becomes real fucking vulnerable.
Right.
Did it in the Cowboy fight.
He doesn't have enough skills yet. Like, he's very athletic, and he's in shape, but he doesn't have enough skills yet. So let's match up Drew Dober, right? So he's 6-1 in his last 7, 3-fight win streak, not in the top 15 at 155. 155 is a Shark Tank. I'm high in this kid. I think this kid's good. I think he has obviously trains with Gaethje, has a good camp, in shape now. His ground game is a little questionable. He has lost by submission. But who do we like for him matching up? A lot of people were hollering out Diego Ferreira, who's number 10. I don't hate that. I really like Islam Makhachev. If Islam can get in the country, I think that'd be a sick fight. That would prove a lot for Dober. I mean, you got this guy who's going to wrestle fuck you the whole time. You're in shape. You got power. Islam's been knocked out before in the UFC. I think that's good because Islam right now is like the boogeyman at 155.
How many wins does Dober have in a row? Is that 3? He's on
3. And then he lost to Beneil Dariush by armbar, which was kind of – he was winning the fight, got caught. And then before that fight, he was on a 3-fight win streak too. So he's 6-1 in his last 7. So he literally has lost 1 fight in 7 fights. And the fight that he's winning just got caught. I call that the Chael Sonnen, a fight that you're winning that you got caught.
Anderson Silva, yeah.
But go ahead,
I'm looking at the rankings right now. And I don't know if Islam's going to be able to fight anytime soon because he's so close with Khabib, and Khabib just came out saying a bunch of his family members have tested for COVID and his dad's got COVID. I don't know if they'll even let Islam or Khabib come around anything because that could spoil the party if I just feel like that could definitely spoil the party. As far as rankings go, I want to see him win a fight. I don't, but I also think I wish Al wasn't as high ranked as he is, because Al's ranked number 8 right now, because I think him and Al Iaquinta would be a real good fight.
Would be real fight.
Gillespie, I think.
Gregor would be good. I mean, because Hernandez right now is at 15. Obviously, that's going to change. Drew Dober more than likely is going to be 15 or 14, right? Islam, I feel like hasn't fought in a while. When was the last time he fought? September in Abu Dhabi, right? Or did he fight?
Oh, that was the Poirier card.
Yeah, the Poirier Khabib card. I think that was the last time he fought. So that was September.
I think so too.
He fought Davi Ramos.
Yeah, so I think
242, September 7th.
Yeah, so at some point you got to fucking move on from that little 14 that you're sitting on. Dober's been active. He wants to go again. He said, "I'll go Fight Island. I'll go June 13th. They're planning an event." He's like, "I'll go wherever. I'm ready to go." Gillespie would be good. That'd be a really tough fight for both guys. I feel like you got both talent, up and coming talent. You could derail them. I like Ali Quinta. Kevin Lee's at 9. He's out. Charles Oliveira should be higher than 7. It's a criminal that he's 7.
Criminal, dude. I cannot believe. What, he won 7 in a row?
7 in a row, and he's looked good doing every single one of them. Because you got this logjam up top, right? Like Poirier needs to fight somebody, right? He's looking for a fight. Tony dropped. Gaethje's obviously the interim. I love my boy Conor, but when's the last time Conor fought at 155?
He's not going to.
Right? He fought because he beat Cowboy at 170. That shouldn't account for the 155-pound rankings.
Right. Dude, Conor's ranked in 3 divisions.
Yeah, so he's sitting at 4 at lightweight. That shouldn't make any sense. If you're Conor McGregor, it's like the Nate Diaz effect or the Nick Diaz effect back in the day. You don't have to be ranked to get a title fight. You're fucking right. You are who you are. So he's creating that logjam up there. I mean, I would put Oliveira at 4. I think he's higher than Felder and Hooker. Hooker lost to Barboza. Felder just lost to Hooker. Oliveira I know has a loss to Felder, but I think we've chatted about that in the text. I think fucking Oliveira is the man there. I think he should leapfrog it. But I think Drew Dober is supreme talent. Ricky Simone versus Ray Borg. That was actually a really good fight. Ray Borg showed really good stand up. I think they got the decision right. It was a split decision.
Yeah.
Simone looked big in there. Simone looked big. I mean, I know Borg fights at 125. He's a 125er, but Ricky Simone looked thick in there. He looked like a fucking thick boy.
Yeah. He looked good, and that was a weird fight because I did not think it was going to go that way at all, man. I was not picking Simone to win that fight. I didn't think he was going to be better in the grappling exchanges at all. And I really thought Borg was going to be able to out-grapple him and out-scramble him because Borg's really, really scrappy when it comes to that shit. But it was actually the other way around. Yeah, Borg showed the best hands I've ever seen him throw.
So fast.
Fast hands.
Head by head.
Clean.
Yeah.
Clean.
He looked good. He said it on Twitter. He's like, man, I my hands look good, but I guess I forgot how to wrestle or whatever. And then he said on the comment, he's like, no, Simone he was just so strong. Mm-hmm. Like every scramble, he was trying to use his speed or whatever. Simone was he's like a grizzly bear compared to him, because you're right. That's how I saw the fight going. I thought Ray Borg was really good to chain wrestle him and take him down and kind of maybe dominate position. I didn't know Ray Borg had hands like that. I don't think I've ever seen him really stand up.
So crisp.
Yeah.
Like he got forced into it, and he learned something new. He got forced into what he didn't want to do, and he learned. Like if he just lets his hands go, he could be a problem. He could be a real problem.
Take maybe a quarter inch off the speed and add a little bit of power in there, and he's gonna be a real problem because he's so fast. Mm-hmm. You can take a little off the speed to add power when you're that fucking fast. He looked good. He impressed me in the loss. He really did. Ricky Simone, again, a guy who's got he's got a great record. He got slept by Uriah, which was kind of unexpected a little bit, but other than that, I mean, he's looked pretty good in his last couple fights. The rest of this card was kind of weak. I mean, the only other fighter,
Arlovsky, man,
Andre Arlovsky. Okay, the only other one I want to talk about, we can talk about Arlovsky, but your boy Michael Johnson, man.
Oh God, that sucks, dude.
Michael Johnson himself. He had Thiago Moises. He's a good guy on the ground, but he's not
trash.
I mean, he's not great, right?
Yeah,
Michael Johnson. Stuffing the takedowns, landing that left hand whenever he wanted, and then the dude just dove at his legs and fucking tapped him.
Yeah, man, that shit's sad to watch, dude. Like, it's getting late in the game for him, too. Like, he's probably 33, 34. It's like,
and he's a 50-50 fighter at this point, man. Like, he's got a 50-50 record.
I asked him, I don't know if it was on Twitter or if it was on our group chat, I asked him if he gets cut. It's 3 in a row now, right?
And I don't think he does, because I group him with Jeremy Stevens. Dana loves these guys because, one, they're always available to fight. clearly they'll fight whoever. With Michael Johnson, like, dude, he's fought everybody. And he puts on exciting fights. Like, he looks so good. He could have finished. I think he could have finished him in the first round. He would get him up against the cage and, like, dude, just start exploding on him. Dude, you already got him hurt. You know, just
He's
go
got
to
big
that
power.
hit that next gear. Yeah, he's got great power.
He's got
Even
big
when he fought Nate
power.
Diaz, him and Nate Diaz had a fucking war. He was banging Nate Diaz.
People forget, like, Nate, that was Nate's first fight back for a while, right?
Mhm.
That was right before the Connor fight. Nate was ripped up. Nate was like shredding that fight. It was his last fight at 155, and they both looked fucking great in that fight.
Yeah.
Like Michael was landing big shots on Nate.
Big shots.
Gaethje, dude, he almost put Gaethje
yeah.
out.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, dude.
Poirier. I mean, he
Like,
knocked Poirier out with one punch.
Yeah, he had Gaethje on skates. He finished Poirier. Like, the dude's got. I can't
He beat
stress
Tony.
enough how
Tony.
fucking. Yeah, he beat Tony.
And he was dominating the Emmett fight before he got caught with that big right hand.
Yeah, that was bad.
It's-
He got
it's-
stiff. He was stiff like a board
Yeah,
after that.
That's the Michael Johnson thing, man. It's just he looks so good, and I don't know if it's mental. I can't imagine it's just training. He comes with that really good camp. Something's going on though, and I guess it had to be mental. I don't know if he sees a sports psychologist or what. That could help. Some people are too prideful to do that.
I think
But
it's just fluke. Like,
Yeah,
it's just-
terribly unlucky.
real
I
bad
think it's just
luck,
terribly unlucky. Like
Good-
MMA, he's a definition of MMA crazy
Yeah.
shit that happens. Like, he just draws a short straw every time. That's what I feel like. It's
Agreed. I just think it's bad luck.
There's this kid in my middle school who was always had bad luck, and we always like, yeah, whatever. You know, I believe in bad luck, but I'm like, pipe down, buddy. Things happen, whatever. This motherfucker we lived, the neighborhood was all by the middle school, so most of us walked home, and he walked home and got caught in a rainstorm. So he went in a tree and he got fucking struck by.
Did he die though?
No, he didn't die. He didn't die. He was okay, but he had this weird.
Tim's already laughing before he knows whether he's dead or not.
He's alive. He's alive. He's okay. I don't know if he's alive currently because I don't keep up.
Probably
with him,
not.
But this dude had like a lightning tattoo on his leg. Like he had his skateboard and he got under this tree and was like, I mean, it was pouring down out, and he was holding on to the tree. And the fucking tree got struck, and he fucking just jolted like 15 feet back.
Oh my god!
Yeah, like another friend of ours was there, and he didn't get struck. So I'm like, okay, so this kid has bad luck.
Did it blow the bottom of his feet off? 'Cause
His
that's what happens with like major electrocutions.
toenails came off. I remember his toenails turned black. His toenails fell off. He had that lightning tattoo, and when he got blown back, he like hurt his arm. I don't know if he broke it, but I remember him being sling.
Yeah, his skateboard broke.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his skateboard.
His skateboard blew up. Dude.
So after that, because he missed school for like a week, and we heard about it, and it was on the news and shit. I'm like, oh, this guy really does have bad luck. Holy shit. That's Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson just might have some really bad fucking luck.
I think so, man. Just
Sucks. That sucks.
One of my friends growing up, he used to work for this company that brought in like big event tents, like the giant wedding tents and shit. Him and 3 guys were carrying a giant wedding tent, and they hit the telephone pole, and one of the dudes died.
Oh shit!
Got electrocuted and fucked up real bad, and my buddy just walked away like nothing happened.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. The only thing I have like that is when I was a kid, me and my buddies were trying to build a tree house, and my one buddy hit this hornet's nest, and they all got stung. So I never cheated death, but they got stung in the face by hornets, and I didn't. So I got pretty lucky there.
Murder hornets.
Yeah, they what murder hornets? Fuck murder hornets. All right, that's the only rest of this card. Like the Wednesday card was good on paper, but it wasn't like great. I mean, there were some really good fights. I mean, we can shout out. Yeah, we can shout out Brian Keller, and he had a big win, had a nice little call out. I think that was a smart call out by him because I think Sugar Sean smokes him, but that was a solid call out because you got then he did the whole I want tie-dye shorts, kind of played with it with the whole Bryce Mitchell thing. So I'm huge Keller on her though. I think he's very average, but he showed up. He showed up and showed out. That Hunter Azure guy, a lot of people were high on him.
Well, and even in the loss, that is your kid. I don't know how old he is, but that kid's gonna be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Like, and they kept saying how good of a wrestler he is, how good of a grappler he is, and he said, "Fuck it, dude, I'm going balls to the wall boxing."
Right.
And he looked damn good. Like Kelleher was taking some shots. That was and I love him when it's fucking quiet and you can fucking hear it. Like,
dude, every fighter's coming out and saying they love fighting. When like Alex Irvin was like, dude, I loved it. Let's keep doing it. Like every fighter's like, fuck it. I mean, it's cool, but
dude, I mean, going back to even Glover and fucking Anthony Smith.
Right. If they're getting paid, fuck it.
That was hard to watch.
You're not gonna get booed, right? You can hear your corner very clearly. Apparently, you can hear Daniel Cormier. He's giving people advice that they can hear. Like Greg Hardy said, he heard Cormier talking about checking his leg kicks, so he's like, "Fuck it, I'll start checking these." Probably should have thought about that before you got in there, Greg. But.
Yeah, there's two things about that I want to talk about. I think it was I think it was DC, but he was talking about how strong Ricky Simone looked, and then like during the second round, while he's saying it, Ricky Simone turns and looks at him and flexes during the fight. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's funny.
I like that shit.
Going back to the Tony and Justin fight with Eddie Bravo, and he kept yelling out, what was he yelling out? Some type of roll?
Throw sand. Amari roll.
Imanari roll.
In Amari roll, and then the one corner's like, give me some sand.
Okay.
And Tony like threw like sand or something.
Is the Amari roll what
it's what Ryan Hall did it to BJ. Ryan Hall hit BJ Penn with the Imanari roll before he put him in a knee bar or a heel hook.
Okay.
Imanari roll, the fighter that did it was the guy that the trainer of the guy that did that to Anderson. Anderson got knee barred in Pride by like Rio Chonin or something, and it was Imanari roll and fucking tore his knee up. The master of that guy and Monari invented it or whatever. But yeah, Ryan Hall did it. Like Devin's right. Ryan Hall did it to BJ Penn. But yeah, Eddie went on to Fight Companion, and I haven't heard it yet. I'm gonna listen to tomorrow at work. And Eddie's like, they told me to go talk to him, and I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Like, I'm not a striking coach. One of the striking coach talked to him. He's getting fucked up on the.
Eddie Bravo was literally he was using every, and I like Eddie. He's
terrible
just
corner.
Extra. Yeah, terrible corner.
Terrible.
He said, my car got broken into the week before, and I didn't have my glasses.
That was his excuse.
Yeah, he said I couldn't see. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, how fucking blind are you? Why can't you just go get a pair of glasses?
Get some readers at the fucking Walgreens.
You're Eddie. Go to the fucking optometrist and get that shit figured out, dude. Like,
right.
You get glasses tomorrow if you need them.
What's funny is
event of a fucking UFC review, and you're saying like I don't have my glasses. Like borrow some fucking.
Not to mention, I've never seen him wear glasses on Joe Rogan.
Right.
I've never seen him wear them. Like, where are they at?
And he forgot his contacts too. That's what it was. He forgot the contacts.
I thought he was a little honest. I mean, obviously he didn't want to be open and honest. He didn't want to come out and say, because I only saw the YouTube clip. He didn't come out and say like, Tony fucked up. Like, we suck. Tony's washed. He just said the corner was a little misorganized. And that was another thing walking out that I said to my buddy. I'm like, come to think of it, I don't know anybody that trains with Tony. I don't know his fucking coaches. He comes from a small camp in California, trains with Eddie. That's the only thing I know. He goes to 10th Planet. But like, who's he sparring? He's sparring tires and he's kicking metal.
He doesn't spar. That's the thing. He doesn't spar.
Who is he? I don't know any of his trainers. It was really weird considering like how high up he's made it. And I'm like, I mean, I know small camps, like you can get by in small camps, but I'm like, come to think of it, I don't know anything about this guy's training camp besides Eddie Bravo.
Eddie was saying on the podcast too how Tony, he's just a weird guy, and like even when you're corner him, he's kind of like a guy you don't really have to corner because he's going to do whatever the fuck he wants anyways.
Yeah, that's like Boz Rutten was like that. Boz Rutten's last fight, he had Kevin James, he had two other actors in his corner. And he told him beforehand, don't say anything to me. I know what I'm doing. Just shut the fuck up. You're here to be in the corner. And if you look at the fight, you hear Kevin James, who's all excited, like, oh, throw the leg kick. And Boz looks at him and was like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's really funny. It was like a million years ago, but it was really
awesome. I want to see
yeah, because Boz was like, I don't want people telling me what to do. I fucking know everything. I don't need to. But so he just like, let's put Kevin James in my corner or whatever. All right, so we covered the main event on 249. I thought Gaethje looked really good. What do you guys give Justin's chances percentage-wise against Khabib? You give me yours.
Than Tony.
Yeah, 50%.
I think it's a lot better than Tony.
Give me a percent, Deb.
40%.
I'm gonna go
really
30.
Good.
Yeah. Tim's at 50. I'm at 30 or 40. So we're literally covering the board here. I've never seen Justin off his back. Have you guys ever really seen him wrestle? Because we know he has it.
About how good he is, but I've never actually seen it.
Right. We never seen it. Like, I've seen a couple people go for takedowns and he stuffed them, but those couple people aren't Khabib. Khabib's going to be fucking glued to you. And, and he's talked about how he doesn't like to wrestle because it gets him tired and stuff. And he did that his whole life. It's like kind of the Yoel Romero thing. Like, I've already did it my whole life. Let me lose these hands. Mm-hmm. He's explosive. He's fast. I've seen his sprawl. His sprawl looks pretty good back in the World Series of Fighting days. But I don't know if I've ever seen him like wrestle. That kind of concerns me a little bit.
Even a sprawl, you could have the fastest sprawl, but against someone like Khabib, he does a lot of single legs and he does a lot of trip ups. He'll pressure you against the cage. You can't sprawl when your back's against the cage. He does a lot. He'll do he'll tie your wrist up, then he'll tie your legs up. I think it's actually probably like 25 or 30% now that I'm really thinking of it.
I think more because I think Gaethje is the toughest person at 155, and I think he's the hardest hitter at 155. Yeah. I think he can hurt Khabib in an exchange, and every round starts on the feet. But I also Conor's a really dangerous striker, and so is Dustin Poirier, and look what he did to both of them. Yeah. Hey, Conor did all right. Speaking of Conor, here's another hot take. Since Khabib's dad, that fucking terrorist, is dying, Conor's gonna get that fight with Gaethje for the title.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't think Khabib's gonna come back by September. Even if his dad recovers, he'd still be like, this coronavirus shit's still around. It's fucking my dad up. Even if he's recovered, he's like, I'm not coming back for a while. He has all the money in the world. He might retire.
That's what I was thinking. He retired.
They're gonna give Conor fucking Justin.
I think so.
That's gonna be a fucking banger.
I think that fight's got a lot closer odds than.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Justin cracked. Conor's chin isn't granite. I mean, listen, Nate hurt him. Fucking Floyd Mayweather hurt him. I know that was boxing. Khabib
hurt him.
Justin
took a lot of punishment. Conor took a lot. Yeah.
Conor though still has that fucking left hand, and his timing's good. And Justin could be hit. I mean, Tony dropped him with that uppercut that came from his ass.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
That was a perfully timed uppercut, though.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That was the best strike I've ever seen Tony throw.
Came from down here, and he's like, yeah. And fucking dropped him.
Justin, does he have a long reach? It looks to me like he has T-Rex arms.
It's not. I don't know off the top of my head. I know it's very average.
I think it's like 74.
He's kind of
76.
He's got good footwork, so he gets in close. But I think he has short arms.
Yeah, he's kind of small for 55. He could make 45 really wanted to. I'm glad he doesn't do that weight cut because whatever. But he wrestled at like 144, 143 in college. I hope him and Conor would be great in July. That would add so much revenue for the company, and I think they'll probably do fans. Dana said something about how he doesn't want to give up a Conor gate. I bet they'll do like 30% fans or something for that fight because they only make. They just did the one of these Big J journalists, media members did a deep dive on UFC's finances. Their revenue stream is only 12% live gate. The rest is TV deals and ad deals.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Not really hurting that much without having a crowd there.
Well, and just fucking bump up ticket prices and then make what they usually make on 100%.
You put on a Conor Gaethje fight in Vegas, anywhere, Arizona. I don't fucking care. You can charge $1,000 a ticket. People are going
easily,
or just make the pay-per-view $10 more.
Right? Yeah, the pay-per-view is going to be like $80, and the people that are because the tickets are going to be limited. They're going to be like $1,000. My buddy, who's obsessed with the Cincinnati Reds, loves them, has season tickets, everything like that. He's dying right now. He's so depressed. That's not happening. And the proposal for the MLB is everyone in the Central is going to play in Texas. Everybody in the West Coast is going to play in Arizona, and everyone on the East Coast is going to play in Florida. Mm-hmm. They're going to do a shortened season, right? They're all going to play in the same stadium. My buddy legitimately is like, I'm going to move to Texas for like 6 months to watch the Reds. Like, that's how crazy he is. Yeah. There's crazy people that have money that will fucking pay $1,000 to go see Conor, plus flight, plus whatever. That's crazy. I mean, that's also a story too. Like, I saw Conor and Gaethje during the fucking pandemic. I wasn't afraid, but I think that's
bullshit for that.
And you only offer like floor seats and box seats. Like, you only offer the prime seating. You don't do any of the bullshit sections. You do boxes and you do all the prime fucking seating. You charge top dollar. Like, they could make some bread off that. Do it in Vegas for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way I think it could work. Apparently, the NBA is going to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Cuban was on a podcast. He said they're going to rent out like a resort, and all the NBA teams are going to live there, and they're going to do 30 games. And then if you get eliminated, you're not in the playoff hunt. Like, obviously previous records per standing, you get sent home, and then everybody in the playoff hunt stays, and then you get eliminated, you leave the hotel. But you get in, you get tested, you get quarantined, you stay there for however many weeks. That's not a bad idea.
No, I don't think so at all. And even what Dad was saying, like, just do the prime seating for UFC, but like, no, dude, just do seating everywhere, just 3 seats apart from each person, and
A
that's
row apart. Yeah.
I mean, that's plenty of money.
There's like 15 seats a row, right? There's usually 1 to 15 or maybe even bigger. Arenas are smaller. They're all different. Sell 6, have 3, and then have 3 seats or 4 seats in between the groups, and then have a row in between. Like you could sell, if you do that, you could probably pack 40% in that arena, because then you got floor seats, which they add. Then you got the boxes, all that. They make a killing. Kevin Ioli, that fucking Indian who writes for Yahoo, he put a poll up, and he's like, who's willing to go to a sporting event? I will now, I will in 6 months, I will never. And everyone put I will now. Like not everyone, but it was like 79% of people.
Oh, sure.
No one wants to be told what to do, and no one wants to be afraid. Obviously, this is a serious situation. But also, it's like, if I got free tickets in the mail to go to the UFC, I'm going to fucking go.
No doubt.
I'm not going to go grab some guy's dick and like get germs all over me. I'm going to social distance. But like, I don't wear a mask at work. I'm delivering to different fucking places every day. They don't make me wear a mask.
And not to get political, but they said, let's flatten the curve. We flattened the curve.
I love this. Dave Portnoy went in.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. Like,
he went in.
Such a good point. Like, dude, they said flatten the curve. We flattened the curve. Now let's get back to fucking life. Like,
exactly. It was flatten the curve. Everyone stay home, flatten the curve. Now it's find the cure. When the fuck did that happen?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're in New York City, you're kind of fucked, because it's just everyone's on top of each other there. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of in a rough place, but not every state, not every city is New York. So, but you got a guy like Gavin Newsom who's a hardcore. He wants it his way, and he came out today and backtracked. So that's, I think, a good sign for sports coming back and to a little bit of normalcy, which I think everyone wants. All right, so UFC 249, we're almost at an hour. So let's go Henry Cejudo. We touched on him a little earlier. Did you like the stoppage?
Fuck no.
No?
I mean, you don't like it because you don't like Henry.
No. if Cruz did that to Henry, I would say the same thing. Absolutely, bro. Like, one, like, we've got to use some like context in the situation. Like, bro, there's like 3 seconds left, and I need to go back and watch that shit, because that clock went away. Usually the clock goes away with 10 seconds left, and then you hear the knock, and I think that's 5 seconds, and it was very close to between when he stopped it and to when the round was over. But Dominic came out, and I don't agree with the shit he said about Keith, but he said, I was trying to get up. Like, he was trying to advance his position. He was trying to get up. If he was going, like, I didn't agree with it at all, man. It pissed me off.
58, 2 seconds left in the round, they stopped it. So there's 2 seconds left.
Like, come on, man.
I don't think it's the worst stoppage I've ever seen. I kind of understand it. At real time, I jumped up and said, that's bullshit. Like, what are you doing? Because this is a guy, Dom Cruz, veteran. I know he was hurt, but he was kind of moving a little bit. It wasn't like he was laying there stiff like Dillashaw was. Mm-hmm. He definitely got rocked, right? And I don't know if the fight would have changed at all. I mean, Henry could have came out and knocked him out in that third round. Who knows? But I thought it was a little weak at the point, right in the beginning. But anytime you slow anything down and you watch these punches, it's going to look bad no matter what. The ref can't see the slow-mo. He only sees the real time. So real time, I thought it might have been a little quick. But I don't like how Dom handled it. I thought Dom acted like a little bitch. Said that stuff about Keith. You smell like cigarettes and alcohol. Well,
that was bullshit.
The guy fucking parties, man. Get off his ass, okay? The guy lives his life. Unlike you, square.
When it comes to the stoppage, like when it comes to the stoppages though, the ref doesn't watch the clock. The ref can't watch the clock. The ref is only there for the fight. So whether it's 1 second left or 1 second in, the ref stops him whenever he feels it's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no, that's the truth. That's what it is. The ref doesn't watch the clock. The ref can't say, okay, well there's 4 seconds left, 4, 3.
How do you know when to step in between them?
But I will.
The buzzer.
The reason they make that clap is for the ref. If you ever watch the fights, when they make the clap at 10
so he can
seconds,
position himself correctly to stop the fight.
The ref points to the guy like, I hear you, I got you. Because sometimes those buzzers, if a crowd's going crazy, obviously there's no crowd, you can't hear those buzzers in the arena. Like I know during Adesanya Gastelum, I couldn't hear the buzzers in the crowd when the rounds would end. I'd go, did they fucking just stop the fight? Like I was so irate because you can't hear the buzzers.
Right.
So I get it. The refs shouldn't. They're only there to protect the fighter. I get that. I understand that argument that Devin's making. But you gotta add. I mean, it
was a little early though.
You know, it's just.
Thank you. There we go.
I think Dom, if he didn't come out and say what he said, I think more people would be on his side. But now people are making, like, all Saturday night Twitter was like, oh, all these judges smell like cigarettes and alcohol. What are they thinking? Like, now it's become like a fucking joke.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he just kept his mouth shut and handled a little bit more class, I think more people would have been on his side. But yeah. But what do you think about his retirement? Is he staying retired? I mean, the answer is no. But what do you guys think?
No. What the fuck else is he gonna do?
Man, he wants. This is the first time this guy's had a girlfriend, so he retires from fucking fighting. What a fucking virgin.
Let's use power.
Yeah,
dude, man. I can't believe he. You know, and like that girl probably doesn't even like him too much. Like you don't see. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Doesn't look natural. Bro.
I saw him on was it Instagram? I mean, she's not bad looking. I know he took his shot at one of the WWE girls.
The wrestler.
Yeah, one of the girls. He took a shot at her. Ariel tried to set that up a few months ago, and like I don't know if it happened or what. Now she's like pregnant with some other dude, or some other guy. Blew that, man.
Oh shit, yeah.
All right, so we got to get to Francis Ngannou. This guy is terrifying.
You know what? I mean, yeah, he is, but like,
say it.
And it's gonna be a crazy tape. I mean, he's terrifying, but like,
he's not good.
I think a skilled fighter is licking his chops at that. Like John, Stipe, like they're like, I'm not impressed.
I think John beats him because I think John's elite. I think he beats DC. I think he beats Stipe.
Me too, for sure.
I think he has the same exact. I think every single one of those fights, regardless of skill set, is exactly 50-50 because it's either Ngannou's power where he, you know, it's like a nuclear warhead, or he gets completely outclassed in a technical fight. I think all three of those guys have enough technical prowess to you know, beat Ngannou. We already see Stipe do it once, and Stipe actually traded with him, like slipping punches, and like he was willing to trade with him. I think like a good pocket boxer, like a dude, I'm gonna say Mike Tyson, but someone that could cut angles. Like if there was a heavyweight Dominic Reyes that could just cut those angles.
Sure.
Dominic Reyes could go to heavyweights, do a little scary little bitch though.
Yeah.
I think a dude with the type of pocket boxing that Dominic has, that could cut an angle and stuff like that, could possess a lot of.
Yeah, and DC's got some good pocket boxing.
Yeah, no doubt. He showed that against John in the second fight.
He hit fucking John a lot with those uppercuts. I don't think DC's gonna fuck with that at all. DC's gonna go out there and he's gonna fucking take a single.
He said the right thing.
Yeah, Francis, you better fucking work on your takedown offense because it was non-existent when you fought Stipe, and DC's a hell of a lot better wrestler than Stipe, and he's better on top too. I'm interested in that fight. I'm really interested in that fight. I think that's good. I think that fight will happen before DC Stipe, even though Stipe did just come out saying he's working on a training facility with UFC or some shit like that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why he would be busier as a fireman. Now
paramedic, he's a paramedic, but like you're the UFC heavyweight champion, bro. You fight for fucking $1 million paychecks. Good bullshitting. Like you're holding up a multi-million-dollar organization. You're holding up the whole entire heavyweight division. Relinquish or let them fight for a vacant.
I respect it. Like if he came out and said I can't fight because my eyes fucked up, cool.
Yeah,
but
that's what I said.
Yeah, you did say that. And then but it's like he released these pictures of him playing with his daughter, which is cute and everything, but it's like, yeah, but you're not doing fireman work right now. Like what do you like? Are you wrestling cats out of a tree? There's no, I mean, if there's a fire, cool, but fire doesn't cause coronavirus. I don't understand what that means. Like why
fires and
you're not a doctor, bro. You're not finding a cure for shit. Like
like for the one, if he disappears, 5 paramedics can fucking take his place.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
I have a lot of respect for nurses and doctors because when I've been in the hospital, they've been cool. I've only won the road in a ambulance once when I had my seizure, and the paramedics were assholes. So fuck them. It's not like I don't have respect for them. They're all firemen. They all got to be paramedics. I have a buddy who's a fireman. He's a fucking goof. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he doesn't work in New York. You know, he's not running the Twin Towers or anything. But
you know what I'm saying?
That's an unpopular take. People are gonna be upset about it. I don't give a shit.
It's true, man.
You're heavyweight champion. Get in the fucking.
Dude, I think more people probably think like, I mean, especially in the MMA community, we're a bunch of fucking savages.
Yeah.
Like, bro, defend or vacate.
Right.
And like, okay, you're a part-time fireman. Don't give a fuck. Defend or vacate.
I
I don't
think
care if you're a fucking doctor. Defend or vacate.
I think Stipe wants to fight DC because I think that I don't think he wants to fight Francis. I think if Stipe beats DC or loses whatever, I think he's done. I think he'll retire.
I agree.
Right. And then I think it'll be the Francis show because DC says he's one and done too. So I think that's why he came back out, Stipe, and tweeted like, "Oh, I'm working on a gym right now, locations with the UFC, blah 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 blah." Because I don't think he wants to fuck with Francis.
In 1 year, what's gonna happen though? Because DC's not gonna in 365 days, DC's gonna retire. He's gonna get a fight, whether he fights. Even if he fights fucking Andre Arlovsky, he's gonna retire. Like DC's gonna retire. I think Stipe is gonna. I mean, the way that he's acting now, he doesn't seem like he wants to fucking fight.
He doesn't.
And Stipe's fought everybody. So what are they gonna do?
Yeah,
Like,
he's always like, I got 5 belts at home. I'm not worried about you, but keep those 5 belts at home. Stay at home. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're not a draw anyway. No one can understand what you're saying.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how he fucking talks.
Nail Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, right. All right, so 2 more things because we're over an hour here, but we have to talk about these 2 fighters, in my opinion. So we'll go Calvin Kattar first. I mean, that knockout was a fucking thing of beauty. I haven't seen that clean of boxing on the inside the pocket like that in a long time. Because Stevens came out aggressive.
Yeah.
And throwing big shots. And Stevens has got good boxing, but they're a little loopy. Calvin stayed tight and was just perfect boxing. And then the knockout with the elbow was flawless. I mean, this kid is the real deal at 45. I mean, Stevens doesn't get knocked out much. If it is, it's to the body. I mean, I can only think of one person that's knocked him out to the head, and that was Yves Edwards years ago. Usually, if he gets hurt to the body, Yves Edwards knocked him out, like slept him years ago with like a counter left hook. And I think that was the first time he's ever been knocked out. But other times he's been like TKO'd and stuff for the body shot or ground and pound. But like chin's always held up.
I mean, he's lost a lot of fucking fights. I have a hard time believing he hasn't been slept before. But I mean, he is tough. And
yeah, I'm pretty sure
he's never been like put out like concussed where they gotta fucking wake him up, you know?
Yeah, and he was that.
The only one was Yves Edwards, man. Yeah, so back in 2012, Yves Edwards knocked him out with punches and elbows. Decision, loss. Jose Aldo, body
TKO
punch
to the body.
Zabit, decision loss. Yair, decision loss. And then Calvin Kattar, elbows and punches to the ground. Like, the dude's had a good chin for being a wild fucking fighter. And Calvin is so clean with his boxing. He really impressed me. I think that sky's the limit at 145 for him. Again, I've said it to my face is fucking blue, but he'll beat Zabit. Zabit's 3 and Calvin's 7. I think that's an injustice. Why the fuck is Frankie Edgar above Calvin Kattar?
Dude, the featherweight division, I meant to say this earlier to you guys, like that shit is fucking stalling. Like, I haven't seen Ortega fighting God knows how long.
Right.
Like
100%.
Yair Rodriguez, I know him and Stevens, they fought like twice in like fucking 8 months. That took forever, and it was just a non-productive fight.
I mean, Josh Emmett hasn't fought in fucking forever. He's at 9.
Yeah.
Like, none of these guys fight.
All those dudes are stalling, and they're just dragging their feet. And there's great talent there.
Yeah.
I think Calvin Kattar's got the talent. I think Calvin Kattar's number one problem is that he's got the power and the technical skill to just come out of the gates and fucking step on the gas.
Yeah.
And I think he's susceptible to leg kicks. I think because he's a boxer, he's never going to be a great leg kicker. He's never going to be great at checking leg kicks. He's going to box. That's his thing. I think his coaches needed to get him to come out of the gate hard and fast because he's so technical. I think he can just with his hands just jam anyone that's going to try to leg kick him. And I think he could really put people out there. Like that Zabit fight, he was like gun shy and he waited, and then the third round he started to turn on.
He gave
that 5, he would have won.
Too much respect because Zabit's got those crazy strikes. It's like, no, bro, he
doesn't have no power.
No power. Yeah, exactly. I don't like Zabit.
Like, fight the way that Jeremy Stevens fight, but use your technical prowess and use your fucking power and your straight punches, and you will go in there and fucking put like him against Brian Ortega. I think he fucking pieces up Brian Ortega bad.
Yeah.
Ortega have to get it to the ground. I can't. Speaking of this, it's really bumming me out that Frankie Edgar's number 6. When's the last time he even won a fucking fight? I thought he was 135.
I gotta look it up now, but
because he just got
he took
TKO'd
that fight
against
early,
Korean Zombie. His last fight, I'm pretty sure, was Korean Zombie, and he got TKO'd.
and then
Max
before he
Holloway.
had the title fight.
He fought Holloway and lost.
Holloway, and then he got knocked out by Brian Ortega. I know after he got knocked out by
Cub Swanson.
Yeah, Cub Swanson was his last win. And Cub Swanson is not even in the
Unranked.
15.
Yeah.
And you're fucking sitting at 6 because
The
you
name,
have
dude.
fuck off.
It's that
All right,
name.
Name, man.
Yeah, well, we could do a whole podcast on how shitty these rankings are, but we got the last guy I want to talk about, and we maybe should have talked about him first, but Bryce Mitchell, Arkansas Strong, the guy
Oh,
with his camo shorts, boys.
dude.
Dude.
Most impressive performance out of all the cards, out of all the fights.
3-10-8
Most
rounds.
dominant performance.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, here's a take. Here's a take for you. Nate Landwehr, Nate the Train beats Bryce Mitchell at 145.
Oh.
What do you think? No? You guys and
I
Nate the Train?
didn't get to see Nate grapple at all, and that's
Right.
all fucking Bryce Mitchell does. So
Nate Devins.
I think Bryce Mitchell's too dominant.
Too dominant.
I think he's
That'd be
too
good.
dominant.
Well, I don't think Nate's earned it at this point. I mean, I don't think Bryce.
no, definitely not.
Bryce isn't ranked, but he's super popular, right? So I don't think he deserves that fight. But I think that's an
Bryce
interesting.
will be
fight.
ranked after this, I bet.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Charles,
yeah,
dude, but 145 is fucking stacked, dude. Dan Igue's at 15. Sadiq, Ryan Hall, Arnold Allen, Jose Aldo, Shane Burgos.
Ooh, Ryan Hall, Bryce Mitchell would be good.
That's what I've been saying.
And Devin called that on the fight night. For some reason, I thought Bryce Mitchell was 135. I was way wrong.
Hey, Josh, why are you ranked 9th?
He beat Michael Johnson like fucking.
Yeah, I remember that. Coached him, but
I don't know what happened.
I think
Why did I think Bryce Mitchell was 135? I'm
he
so
looks tiny. He looks scrawny.
wrong at that. Yeah, he doesn't have the best body.
He's got fucking very quiet strength to be able to hold
Strong.
homeboy down.
Yeah, his cardio's a freak.
That was crazy, dude.
Country strength. He's got that Justin Bieber hair. He's got a hot chick. He's all tatted up. I mean, the guy's living all right.
Dude,
The guy
he had
lost his
had
dick.
to have a side bet that he would finish that fight with a
to.
twister because he fucking tried it 10 different times and got damn near
So
close.
impressive about that is he's never trained with Eddie Bravo. He learned it on YouTube. Like
That's right.
I learned how to
so good.
learn how to tie a tie on YouTube. I still can't fucking do it. This guy's learning twisters.
he's so good. And to train from and to come out of that little camp, like they fight on fucking plywood, dude. Like their camp is dirt. Like they
Rolando Delgado is his head coach who fought in the Ultimate Fighter years ago. Thought he fought in the UFC as well, maybe once or twice. Stunk. That's his head coach. And then some country guy who owns like a barn is like his strength and conditioning coach. But it fucking works, dude. It's working. They got 2 guys in the UFC. They got him and TJ Brown, even though TJ Brown lost his UFC debut. It's working. It's working. All right, boys. This was fun. It's late here. I got to get to sleep. I got a 5 a.m. wake-up call. We're at hour 12. Do this next week. We'll do this next week again. We'll recap, and then we'll have fights on Saturday. I believe the 30th next week. Yeah, the 30th is Tyron Woodley, Gilbert Burns. Right now,
Ooh.
so we'll do those fights. So I appreciate you boys
250?
coming. 250 is the 6th.
Of June, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure March or May 30th is
You're
Tyron
right.
Burns fight night on ESPN or whatever. They're trying to do it at the Apex.
All right, boys.
That only has 4 fights on it right now too, so they got to add more to that. So we'll see what happens. I'm assuming we'll have a lot to talk about next week because they're gonna be adding fights. They'll have to. They're gonna have to cancel. So.
Have to.
All right,
Get
boys.
our camo shorts.
Get our camo shorts.
All right, fellas.
It was
All right,
fun.
boys.
Yeah.
Later, guys.